Hi, welcome to my bathroom. Today we are going to be talking about fungal acne safe skincare. And I've mentioned in a few videos that I have fungal acne. I can put photos of how my skin used to look. And I have been doing a fungal acne safe skincare for probably like 4 or 5 years now. And I just stick to it because it's what works for me. And I've recently been finding a lot of products that work for me, and I wanted to share them with you. So without further ado, I am just gonna jump right into it. So first up, I'm gonna start with sunscreens because that's the most important thing to me. First up is Paula's Choice Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid. Everyone and their mother talks about this when you look up like malassezia safe skincare. Hi, Editing Emerald here. I do think that they reformulated because this didn't used to break my face out, but there are no triggers in it. And I don't know if it's because they just sold Paula's Choice and all of that stuff was happening or what, but this breaks me out. So technically, if you analyze the ingredients, there aren't any triggers, but something about the change my skin just does not like, and I don't really recommend it anymore. It's still good and it's easy to buy at like Sephora, so I do use it still. It's not as bad as a normal sunscreen, but just be careful. It's good, doesn't leave a white cast, but is kind of trigger heavy now. But the next ones are completely safe, and this is the Koa Mineral Sunscreen. I believe that this is an Australian brand, and you have to be careful because the tinted version does have a lot of oils that are triggers, but this one doesn't have any. It's a zinc mineral sunscreen, and it does leave a little bit of a white cast. It definitely comes out like a thicker white, and it does have that kind of mineral sunscreen cast, but it's not as bad as most mineral sunscreens. So if you're looking for a physical sunscreen, this is a really good option that is malassezia safe, and it's the only one I found that is a actual zinc sunscreen that's safe. So I love this guy. When I know I'm gonna be like in the sun, I use this. Again, it's an Australian brand, so they do not mess around with their sunscreen. And then this one was a surprising one. The Sunbun Kids stick is also safe as well. It smells like bananas. It's really good to keep in your purse. It's just extremely greasy. So you can probably tell how greasy it is, but it's just a nice option to have. And sometimes I want an extra layer of like looking glowy, then I actually use this. And it's just nice, like if I don't want to get my hands dirty or I'm just running out and I want to reapply really quickly, I use this guy. And then my final one and a new favorite is actually the Ordinaries. And I would have never tried this, but I actually got given this for free. They don't know about this channel. It was just a coincidence. I work at a restaurant and they were having a pop-up and they gave all the staff sunscreen and goodies, and this was one of them, and I guess it's brand new and it is malassezia safe, and I've been using it for the last few weeks and I love it. This is my new go-to sunscreen. No white cast. It doesn't break me out in the way that the Paula's Choice one does, and it's really affordable. I'm happy that this one came into my life, and I will definitely be repurchasing this one. All right, and then I am gonna go into like moisturizers and hydrators. I do use the classic CeraVe that everyone uses. I put it in this little like travel bottle because it comes in the tub. It's still nice when I want like a thick product to put on my face or things are like really irritated, but it does break me out in the same way that Paula's Choice does, where I'll get like the little bumps on my face. So that one still is an option. It doesn't full-blown give me acne, but it gives me more acne than it used to. But I do have actual like completely safe products, and one of my favorites is the ABIB Rice Probiotics Overnight Mask. This is probably my 3rd or 4th time repurchasing this. It technically is a mask, so it's really thick, and if I use it too many nights in a row, it will break me out, but it's a really good moisturizer, and it feels kind of similar to me as like Vaseline, where it's good for just like locking everything in. When I use like a retinol or something, this is my favorite thing to kind of like slug with, and I love it. Like I said, I've purchased it multiple times, and I use it more as a moisturizer like every day versus a once in a while mask. And I love it because the last moisturizer I used to use was the Tatcha Water Cleanse. This is my holy grail. It's completely fungal acne safe, but it's so expensive, but I love it so much. It makes me feel like I have a completely different face. If I could just have one product forever, it would be this one. It's just not in the budget right now. But I do buy the trial versions whenever my skin is going through a rough patch and I just need something that will work. I use this guy. I love it so much, but too expensive. So this is kind of the second best thing that I have. And then something new in my life is the Abib Heart Leaf Cream, also completely fungal acne safe. And I love this. I've also only been using this for a few weeks, but it feels like it gives kind of an extra round of moisture when I need it. I used to use like coconut oil and stuff like that when I started feeling dry, and it's hard to find oils like that when you have fungal acne issues. So this is kind of what I've been using when my face just feels really dry and maybe I took too hot of a shower. The water in LA is horrible and my skin just like needs some extra something. It's this guy. And I've also been using it like every night as just a moisturizer, and I love it. I wake up with just like the dewiest, most hydrating skin, and it's really soothing. And this is another thing that I will definitely be repurchasing. Abib has kind of turned into one of my like go-to brands. And then in that kind of same vein, my focus is always hydration because I'm a sweaty person, but it always feels like my skin is really dry. It feels very environmental because when I travel, my skin is perfect, but the moment I come back to LA, it's dry and awful and angry. So all of my serums that I use are kind of about like hydration and plumping the skin. My absolute favorite one that is way too expensive, but I love it, is the Biossance Squalene Plus Copper Peptide Rapid Pumping Serum. I love it so much. Completely unnecessary purchase, but it does feel like I have a new face. I use it after I use a retinol when my skin just needs a little bit of love, and it really does feel like it's plumping your skin. I probably won't repurchase it again just because it is so expensive. This bottle is like $60, but I love it so much. And if I make more money, the first thing I'm repurchasing are these two. And I'm just gonna be like a rich mom who uses only these guys. But I'm gonna keep enjoying it while I still have some. This bottle has lasted me a really long time, I will say that. But again, it's so expensive. But the consistency is perfect. It comes out as like the classic blue drops because it's a copper serum. And yeah, I love it so much, but it's so expensive. I also just use a lot of squalene. It is one of the only oils that doesn't break you out if you have fungal acne, and MCT oil is a little bit too much for me. So I do use the Ordinary's 100% plant-derived squalene. I've been repurchasing this for years, and it's just a nice thing to have around. An oil like this is so versatile, and it's nice to just be able to use it if you notice that your skin's too dry, or maybe you have stubborn makeup that won't come off, or it's just nice to have things like this kind of in your tool belt. So squalene oil. It's also nice to put it on your hair and not worry about like things transferring and making you break out, because I have to be very careful with that one. And then two serums that aren't about like hydration but do just help my skin feel very glowy and nice is the classic niacinamide and zinc by The Ordinary. One of the things that keyed me into realizing that I had fungal acne was I read about like you put the dandruff shampoo on your face or the little diaper cream on your face with zinc and it should help. So I would take like zinc capsules and break them up and put them in moisturizer and make masks out of them, which probably isn't the best for your skin, but overnight it fixed my acne basically. And I had tried so many things, been to the dermatologist, he literally burned it off with dry ice, like I did everything, and then just little zinc capsules in moisturizer helped. So this was also something that I used when I was like more fighting the acne, and it did a really great job. So it's nice just having this in my tool belt if I do get breakouts. Another thing that I use when I get breakouts is this little sulfur treatment. It's like old lady and it's to the point. So you just use a little tiny bit and it just sucks out everything from the pores, and it's never made me break out because you're just putting it on like already a problem area, and it just does its job. So I love having this in my tool belt as well. And then also in the same vein as that, as like very kind of grandma generic solutions, are these Stridex pads. These are salicylic acid 2% with acne medication. This is not for the faint of heart. This has like menthol in it and mint and I think ammonia and a bunch of things in it. It burns your face, but if you're having a bunch of little breakouts and you just want it fixed very quickly, this is very helpful if your face can handle it. I love using these when I've like been working out a bunch of days in a row, or I've just been really oily and like going to the gym and it's summer and I just haven't been taking like good care of washing my face, and it like gets the job done. It feels like it just burns everything off, so then I have a clean slate, which is great. I also use, you can't see, but the Paula's Choice BHA. Again, this is either 100% malassezia safe, or there's 1 or 2 ingredients that are triggers, but they're low down in the list. This is just a active ingredient. It's a chemical exfoliator. It's the same one that's in the pads, but it's just kind of by itself. It's a lot more gentle than the other one. But if I'm gonna be using an acid on my skin, I just want it to like take everything off. So I definitely use the pads a lot more because it's also very easy. Like I love just running in, wiping my face really quick, letting it dry, and then coming back and doing the rest of my skincare. So, but that one is also fungal acne safe enough in my book. And then one more salicylic acid thing that I used, if you can't tell, I love salicylic acid. I think it just agrees with my skin really well, is the Ordinary Salicylic Acid Mask. And I use this primarily around my nose because I get like stubborn little gunks and things around it. And this one's the only mask that doesn't break me out and also feels like it's drawing out all of the impurities and just leaves my face feeling really tight, but in a nice way. And again, this is pretty fungal acne safe. Always do your research beforehand because companies are constantly reformulating. So if you watch this video in a few months, they might have changed something that I didn't know about. I use 2 websites to track ingredients, and I think it's called Folliculus Scout, and then Skin Charisma is my favorite, but they've been like remodeling their website. Always just run ingredients through before you repurchase or purchase an item because you never know when the ingredients changed. And the other like exfoliant that I use is the Dermalogical Daily Micro Exfoliant. I love this because it's a physical exfoliant and it's a powder. So it's basically like sand kind of, and you wet it and you can control how much grit and like how much water is in it. If I ever have like really stubborn areas where I can feel there's dead skin, then it's really nice just being able to kind of target those areas. And then finally, I have 3 products left. One is, I think, the only like a true serum that I use, and it's the Ordinary Multi-Antioxidants Radiant Serum. This is completely fungal acne safe, and I was not expecting to love this as much as I do. It really does make my face feel really glowy. I didn't even know what value there was in an antioxidant serum, but after using this, I really do see a difference. It is basically promising to do what vitamin C does. And again, it's completely fungal acne safe. You can use this day and night, and I find myself when I'm working from home and my skin starts getting dry or I just kind of want to feel refreshed, I'll put a little bit of this on, and it's so light and nice and the perfect amount of hydrating. I love putting this on at night and then putting like a moisturizer over it, and it just feels like plumping and makes my skin feel so clear, similar to the way that the squalene and copper peptides one does. So this is something that I'll definitely be repurchasing. This was like one of the sleeper hits of the year that I've just been really into. And then finally, my last 2 items are around like cleansers. And my first one are these Almay biodegradable oil-free micellar eye makeup remover pads. The pads themselves are really thin and kind of flimsy, but I love that because I feel a little bit less wasteful and you get more in them. It's super easy for me to just like take off my eye makeup at night, and I don't worry about the excess oils and things breaking me out. I use these all the time, and again, it's just nice like halfway throughout the day. If I'm starting to feel kind of glunky, I'll just like kind of wipe my face, apply some skincare, and it just feels really nice. So I really appreciate these guys. And then finally, this is the only cleanser I've used for probably 4 or 5 years, and it's the Drunk Elephant Bestie No. 9 Jelly Cleanser. And this is one that I'll double check that the ingredients haven't changed, because I have been repurchasing them for a while, and I know Drunk Elephant has been going through some changes, but I've never had breakouts from this. And it's just like a really nice cleanser. It really is not stripping. It lets the oils live on my face while taking off the makeup and just kind of resetting everything. But yeah, those are all the products that I've been using and that have worked for me. I love returning things, so if I got something and it breaks me out, I returned it. So these are all the ones that kind of pass that test and I use in some capacity. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful for some of you guys. I know that it's like the same 4 or 5 products repeated over and over again. So I've been really happy finding more products and things that work better than these like very generic kind of grandma things that just get suggested over and over again. Because of course I like some of my grandma stuff. I also want to find cool brands and products that just make me feel included, because I love skincare. Yeah, let me know if there's any products that you want me to try, anything that you've been having fun with or seen, or any products that have reformulated. Let me know, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.